leagues dictate on how you prepare and how you look at the future, that can sometimes be a little overwhelming. So from that perspective, are you just looking to see more of the Winnipeg Jets that you saw before the two Florida games tomorrow night, understanding though that it's a results-driven business?
Yeah, we weren't certainly happy that we lost both games, but it's like we've kind of done in the past, whether it was a big win or if it was a loss to Toronto, it was a reset and get ourselves ready to go again. Kind of the interesting thing is Florida again, who we just played, and that doesn't usually happen. And they still are the Stanley Cup champions, and we saw them at their best the other night, and we know that we have to be better than what we were. And I have all the faith in this group that we reset and come back out tomorrow with a better product on the ice.
Watching some of the things you do at practice, obviously there's some correction type of issues there too. But the small ice, is that just also from a competitive point of view, expecting what you saw from Florida to be repeated on Tuesday night from their approach, and how you guys have to counteract that?
Yeah, I think we try not to waste the practice. There's stuff designed in every drill that we do that's going to have resemblance to what happens in the games. And yeah, if you're talking about the little game at the end, that's all puck battles. That's just compete. We'll do that after wins. We'll do it after losses. But the one thing that you could really see about, obviously Tampa being a Stanley Cup champion and Florida being a champion, there is compete there. Those guys know how to compete. I'm not saying we don't. We've done a fantastic job this year, but sometimes you just do a drill like that. It's twofold. One is to compete. The second part is scoring goals. We only got one in our last two games, so it means that it's kind of those under pressure, duress, rebounds, kind of scramble moments that, the greasy goals that you got to score, and so that's why that drill's kind of set up.
Coach, you kind of just talked about it, so you set up that drill. I'm just curious, what was your thoughts on just the response of the team in today's practice? I mean, you guys faced your first little bit of adversity, and now it's this is the first time to respond.
Yeah, we had a very long night coming home. Obviously, by the time we got home here Sunday morning. So yes, yesterday was a day off. They got to kind of be away. We went through some video this morning, looked at some things where we have to be better. We have some thoughts and ideas of how we want to approach Florida tomorrow, so we'll show some things tomorrow when it gets closer to the game time. But you know what, our group has done a really good job, whether it's success or an off night where we've been able to turn around and refocus and come back. I really like today's practice. Just ask them to make sure the detail was good, and I thought it really was in all the drills. And all that does is just prepare them. It gets them kind of forgetting, not forgetting, but getting away from what happened on Saturday, move into the next day here, and let's get going forward.
You talked about compete, but I'm wondering if was there a particular area just over the last two games in particular that you were particularly concerned with, if you would? Or?
No, I mean, when I talk to our group or when I talk to you guys, our compete is everywhere. It starts at center ice on face-offs or in the neutral zone face-offs all over the ice. It's battles in front of their net, our net. It's wall play. So it happens throughout the game in different scenarios, and you're going to get lined up against somebody, and the more often you win your battle, the more time we have the puck. And we've talked about being a pressure team. We talk about, making it hard on the opposition. The more of those battles that we win, the more that we can go play offense and have fun that way.
And you talked about just watching video and stuff like that. I'm curious, what does that look like as far as the ability to rebound? Like, is that you just set something up in practice, right, to increase there, but is it a heightened sense of urgency? Is it you reinforcing a message? Is it what does that look like for you guys to read?
Yeah, there's no urgency here. It's just this group is so good at recognizing when we play well and when we're not. I don't have to remind them a whole lot. There's just some certain areas that maybe that you kind of zoom in on. One night it might be your breakouts, another night it might be your forecheck. Sometimes it's your specialty teams. So we kind of zoomed in on a few of those areas and talked about it. Probably to counter where Florida is really good at. So there's some of those things I won't tip my hand so much on what I mean by that, but Florida's really good at some things, and we're going to have to make sure that tomorrow we're better than we were Saturday at it.
Update on Logan Stanley?
Yeah, he's still be a little bit here. He's going to come on the road trip with us, but still not. He won't be skating here yet for probably another 4 or 5 days. I don't think.
In terms of the progress of Ville Heinola, how are you seeing him progress?
He's coming. Ville, we finally got him into the heavy contact. We got a couple on the road. Not that we practiced a whole lot, but today I thought was a really good one. He got to get into especially some real good 5-on-5 stuff, and we got a decision to make with him. We'll talk to him and see how we move forward here. We want to get him in some games sooner than later. We just got to find out what the best course of it is. If the docs are 100% ready for us to move forward with him into games, and talk to him about the best scenario.
Scott, you'll mention from time to time, it may get boring for you guys in the media and ergo the fans that, we approach things, pragmatically, whether it's a win or a loss. In light of the last week that you had, we're following the Dallas win, 14-1, and then, Connor Hellebuck's first star of the week and the MSG Magic from the number one line, and then what happened in Florida. That a prime example of how important it is for that equilibrium.
Yeah, it's too long of a season. The schedule is too crazy and busy. You get caught up in what happened yesterday, or you're not going to be focused on what's coming today or tomorrow. And so that's where this group has been so mature, and our leadership group has tried to make sure that we stay over top of that as much as possible. You just have to, whether it's both positive or negative, it's just part of a season. It's 82 games. You got to grind your way through them. Sometimes they may end up going longer than you hoped. Obviously, the good things are going real well for us for a while now. We're in a little bit of a scenario where we got to turn it around here. No better time against the Stanley Cup champions here tomorrow.